years ago. Hip hop probably has done about as much harm to the community as the crack epidemic and the Civil Rights Acts of 1964-65.
Boom.
Everything you heard is bullshit. Reality isn't a choice between the blue pill and the red pill. It's the black pill. This pill.
All right. It has been deadly to the community. Not only that, a lot of the men that you're following, not all, some of them have been a part of an element that you probably would not want to be a part of. All right. And I love hip hop, guys. I've been growing up on hip hop. I love the beats, but I don't believe any of them, nor do I care to believe them.
Exactly.
Nor do I want to be like them.
Exactly.
Okay. But it's done as much damage. Somebody says rap as well. Same thing we're talking about. Rap, hip hop. It has been dangerous and detrimental to the community. It has put men into a position in which they have to go thugging. We talked about this yesterday. They're choosing to go thugging because this is how they think they're going to go get women. And they've chosen to take these personas that they really aren't. You know, I could go down and name a bunch of men, but I'm not trying to create smoke with hip hop. But we know Rick Ross is not really who he portrays to be. He was a prison guard, more or less, and then he's out here saying he's a king. It is what it is. There's other guys that were with underage girls. They swept it under the rug. There were hip hop artists with underage boys.
Yep. All right. Shout out to CGA. This is Emperial. Yes, I'm here with my platform E.P.V. Okay, Emperial Philosophies and Views. Man, I live by my philosophies. I eat it. I live it. I sleep it. And I die by it. Let me say it again. I live, eat, breathe, sleep, and live by my philosophies and views. Those who like it, like it. Those don't, fuck you. All right? These are my philosophies. And these are, okay? Only one philosophy is above mine. It's Jehovah's philosophy. Okay? All right, what CJ is saying here about hip-hop, listen, man. I love hip-hop. All right? I'm gonna lie. Hip-hop. I love hip-hop and rap. The beat, the sound, whatever, the flow, whatever. Guys like YNW Melly, Chief Keef, and all them guys, yeah, I like it. But if I take it serious, see, most of you guys take it serious, man. You gotta take this shit literal, serious. Them guys don't give a fuck about you at the end of the day. You know, you try to emulate these guys, right? Like you try to emulate them, you try to fit their persona. These guys already making millions, right? These guys making millions, some making hundreds of thousands, and they floss in the jewelry, all right? They floss in watch, chain, rings that cost like a price of a condo, all right? Okay, on a lower end, they floss like $40,000, $50,000 worth of jewelry, all right? I said again, on a lower end. On a high end, you're talking like $250,000 up to $1 million jewelry around the neck. They floss right in your face, huh? And talking about who broke this, broke that one, broke that, broke. That's a salt to the fucking fans, huh? You imagine like you being a typical fan, and you worshiping these guys and applauding them guys, and they have respect for you, all right? And they once was poor like you. They once were struggling like you at one point in time in their life. They were struggling. Now they cocky, arrogant and shit, putting in full persona. Okay? Listen, only 5% in the industry, them guys was above the life, all right? They were above the life, like 50 cents and a few others who really was above the hard life. But even now, they moved on and they making millions and tens of millions of dollars and living good. And these guys don't give a fuck about you. Straight jacket, all right? That's it. At the end of the day, they don't give a fuck about you, all right? And half of them come from dysfunction, all okay? I mean, like, they come from dysfunction, come from fucking poor a poor upbringing, all right? Poor food, poor diet, poor nutriments, mentally, psychologically, they're fucked in the head, okay? That's why now, like when they come across money, they're very vain. They're very vain and superficial. Like Future is my boy. I like him, but them dudes are very vain, man. Like they glorify the fucking jewelry and they glorify the fucking clothes, like women. That's woman energy. Because most of us most of them came from single mom race, all right? So they grow up with that woman energy. Life is all about things. That's it. Most of them are very shallow, all right? Not all, but I'll say fucking 98% are shallow, man. Most of them, I don't even have time to appreciate life, man. Like the trees, the woods, the nature, the moonrise, the sunrise, the ocean, the lakes. These two are so far gone, it's so shallow and superficial. It's all about things, flashiness, 24/7, right? So most of them are living a superficial, shallow fucking life. All right. So guess what? So it's no longer the white supremacists or Ku clans who destroying the black fucking race. Hip hop, 9% of it, all right, 9% of the hip hop influence destroy the fucking black community. All right. Yeah, I said me, Emperial, I said, 9% of it, destroy it. Okay. Plain and simple. All right. Because even down to the girls, them, right? The females, them, they're cocky, they're arrogant, they're shallow and superficial. They like to depend on things, tattoos, a fake butt, fake boobs, and deep down they empty and shallow and lost. No soul, no compassion, no nothing. Okay? So when they come across a black pillar like me, I despise them, especially a woman. I mean, who caught up in this shallow, superficial life. All right? Anyone who not influenced by this, okay, I should appreciate life. I talk about life itself, man. Okay, I don't care whether she's making $1 million or she's only making $10,000 a year, but she appreciate the natural elements of the creation of life. Now we can talk. But the ones who caught up in this shallow life, she's just a fucking empty vessel. And even getting back to the guys, they're also shallow and superficial and they're empty inside. They're empty. So that's why they need a red carpet. They need a Lambo. They need the fucking tattoos, and they need the bling bling, so they can be somebody. Because most of life, they feel like there was nothing, there was nobody. So for them to gain validation, even up to the basketball players and football players, most dudes are dumb, shallow, and superficial, and that's why you end up marrying these fucking 3 or 4s, or dating these 3 or 4s, and they get taken to the cleaners. Because all go back to shallowness, all go back to shallow and being superficial. And hip hop is just based on being shallow and superficial. But one good thing about it though, I'm gonna say it, me. One good thing about it, it put guys on game though. It put men on game how these women is nowadays. You treat them like HOEs, treat them like 3 or 4 as they are. That's it. I mean, that's one thing about it. I mean, that one thing I can say about hip hop, it does give a black pill awakening, far as surviving from being taken advantage from women, whatever. Okay? Like it give you heads up, like about woman and woman nature, her nature, especially when she's shallow and empty-headed, 24/7. She on social media, she on TikTok, she on Instagram, gain attention and validation. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing about it. That's one good thing about hip hop. It does give young men heads up how to treat these women. Unfortunately, you gotta treat them. You gotta treat them that way. All right? Because any woman who doesn't touch with natural elements of life, I don't time be treating them on no relationship or being romantic. All right? Because they're lost.
There were hip hop artists that were full on reading Rainbow, but they're out here thugging.
Yeah.
There were hip hop art. I mean, guys, it's too apparent.
Oh boy.
Corrections officer. Yeah, it's I don't know how you guys don't see it. And then you had the other element in which a lot of them were used by allegedly gangs and other organizations to launder money, and they made them famous. I mean, and then these men eventually, once they broke ties with these people, they became simps. I'm not gonna name names because I'm not trying to create smoke. But what I'm saying is, I see hip hop for what it is. It's a movie. It's professional wrestling. And a lot of guys also in hip hop, which I don't blame them for, once they talk about getting it out of the mud, they then go do what? They go buy big houses in the white community. Yep. Ice Cube called that out. So it is what it is.
You heard that? That's right. And since I don't blame them. They moved on and live a better life. But yet, leave you in the projects, in the hoods. All right? They move on with fortune and riches and fame and throwing it back in your face, flush and floss in your face. And you so idolizing and worshiping these motherfuckers. Man, fuck them. All right? So you need to get yourself in the mud and build your life up. Instead of glorifying these dudes, man, just enjoy the music. All right? Take the music, put on your headphone, and use that to give you motivation to make money for yourself. I mean, so it's better your life. All right?
You guys can't deny it. Although you want to keep this imagery about keeping it real and whatnot. But when keeping it real goes wrong, that's hip hop. And so I love hip hop, but it has done detriment to the community. You can't say over 40 years, the last 40 years, the men that hip hop has created have not been the men that we really want to be.
Soft,
you know, we don't, that I don't think it helped us.
Yeah.
I don't think it helped us. I think it hurt overall. But there are periods of hip hop where it did help us.
Yeah, I told you. Yep.
Right? All those cribs, MTV cribs. I mean, it was proven that some of them hip hop artists, those weren't even their homes.
Ah.
They knew it, and they put that imagery out there of success. And a lot of these guys are broke. That's another thing about hip hop. A lot of them don't have no money. I'm just overwhelming. Hip hop did not affect black people at all, though. Really? I don't know about that. Oh, the women, you know, these are all things that we have to accept. We have to accept the level of it before we say, well, I was able to not be 100% of hip hop. Right? A lot of you guys got your sexual education from hip hop.